We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is, from the Yampa Valley Sauce Company, we have the Purple Blaze hot sauce. Now, this is it's a habanero sauce, but the peppers here appear to be, I guess this is making a Y maybe? Is that supposed to? These look like they're basically jalapeno, and so right where they intersect, you've got this really weird darkening effect. I don't understand what that's supposed to be. Kind of odd, but we have a mind-blowing infusion of blueberry and habanero, as the story goes. I don't like this craft paper label. I don't think anything reads well on this. I mean, they did stick to black, but I think they needed to make the label larger, so they could have made all the lettering a lot bigger as well. And of course, this just, stuff like this, this is why you come here, right? This is why you click on here to hear me bitching about labels. But this looks clumsy and amateurish. I mean, it looks cheap. Like, why can't you line up the labels? I don't. So, the craft paper is kind of an issue, and then just because of the way that it reads on here, the size of this label. So, if they were to actually make this larger, I like that you can see the bottle. It's important to be able to see below the label. This is too much, but so you could add another half an inch here, and then probably another 3/4 up here. Make that a little bit better. It's important to be able to see how much is left in the bottle. I hate it when labels don't allow you to see that. They could also cut some of this out so you have a section through the middle to be able to see there. But, I mean, it's a really pretty sauce. Very clearly they're just going for... Well, it's a little bit too watery to be a syrup, like a blueberry syrup, but that's kind of what they're going for here. So, all right, let's just take a look at this. This is my first sauce from Yampa Valley. I had honestly not heard of them at all prior to stumbling on this. Another one from Colorado. This one is a town I've never heard of. All right, so we've got blackberry, habanero, vinegar, water, salt. We have black pepper and xanthan. All right, so you can see it is chock full of what appears to be blueberries here. And the color is blueberry, the hue, everything is just reading very strongly of blueberry. See, it does. It's rather watery, though. I kind of wish it wasn't that. They did not add sugar to this either, which is important to note for reasons we're going to get into very shortly. But you can see it looks really good. I mean, it looks like blueberry. And blueberry, to me, is one of those fruits that you have to be very careful with. I like it a lot. But there is a tendency, there's an attribute of blueberries that can really become forceful if you're not careful with it. And we'll get into that here shortly. In fact, let's just do it now. Let's spill on the table first. And then let's do it. All right, here we go. Okay. Ugh. The good news here, you can taste the black pepper and the blueberry and the habanero. That is the good news. The bad news is that this is an incredibly sour sauce. There's no sugar, so a lot of this depends on the ripeness of the fruit, and the blueberries can become very sour. That might be what we're dealing with here. Sour blueberries plus vinegar on top of it, because this is just unbearably sour. I mean, it's not really very hot either. Purple Blaze is a cool name though. I do like the name. I think the name is really, really clever. However, it is really not palatable by itself. And I would not put this on ice cream because it is overly sour. And I find overly sour sauces, what those do is wreck the ice cream. And that is not why we're using sauce, right? We're not trying to ruin the foods we're putting it on. So, we have here, Kroger has these cool things, these breakfast sausages. You used to be able to get 2 of them that were about not quite this size for $1. Now, they come in 6 packs of these half to 3/4 size ones. So, MatPat did a really extensive video on shrinkflation, which is what this is. This is shrinkflation. That's what this is. Except it actually is more expensive on top of everything. You know, because right now we have just corporations that are just intent, from gas companies to literally all the corporations, on soaking everybody who is not them. And so that's why we see this madness with inflation, and opportunistic people will try to blame it on one political party or another. And you can walk that back, by the way. You can say, okay, well, who is the one that is making the effective tax rate of people like Amazon, for instance, 0? Like, who is doing that? Who is making this all cush for the big corporations? And there's one political party doing that. And it's not the blue one. So, anyway, though, this is the state of what we have now. We have these goofy things, which, like I said, are about half. This is maybe 50 to 60% of the size of the other ones. So, yay Kroger. But they did add blueberries. So they didn't have blueberry pancakes as a flavor before. So it's a kind of it's a mixed blow, I guess. It's still really, really kind of irritating, because it definitely is more expensive per ounce to get it this way, even though you get 6 of them to a box. But they're all thrown in the box. There's no packaging inside the box. So what that means is, as soon as you open the box, you've got 6 of those things that you need to eat. Now, I mean, I guess the good news is that they're small, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue, but this has really, really, really just been an endless bit of irritation, you know, with the way things are trending. All right, so let's try this. Ranting aside, let's try this just sauce by itself. So this is, I've got a plain one and I've got a blueberry one here. It is so sour. It does work slightly better with the blueberry pancake one, because you get enough sweetness with this and the blueberries to sort of balance this out a little bit. So, clearly what we need to do is fix the sauce. So let's do that right now. Put this where you can see it. So I've got here some Private Selection pure maple syrup. Break my finger trying to open, apparently. Alrighty. I got the darkest one I could find because I like the darker ones better. So let's just throw that in there. Lick the threads for good luck. And put that out to the side here. Alright. So let's just throw some of this in here and see how we fly. So I'm going to add the sweetness that should have been there. And I don't know if this will be enough. I've never had this syrup before. I mean, I've certainly had pure maple syrup before, this sort of watery stuff, but I haven't had this particular dark one before. Oh. There, that is tremendous. Didn't change the size of the sticks. I mean, I guess there's that. This is excellent. You still get the excellent blueberry and jalapeno flavor. We just managed to dial down the sourness pretty considerably. To a non-offensive level. I like a blueberry maple syrup. I think that is just one of the premier combinations for breakfast foods. And this is almost 100% on the mark. Yeah, that's good. A nice little tingle of heat there. Yep. That was an easy fix. So I think that is the major problem with this one. There needed to be like some turbinado sugar maybe in there. There needed to be some raw sugar maybe. Cane sugar, I mean, what have you. Or, just a good maple syrup. And you fix this sauce entirely. You accentuate all the good parts, and it basically just nullifies all the bad. What I think happened here, let me show you this. You can see this stupid craft paper label is already stained just from the oil that came from those sausage pancakes. This is why I hate these craft paper labels. They get really gnarly. I mean, look. See, it's already stained. They just get really nasty towards the end. But anyway, those two simple fixes and this thing is good as gold. Now, without that, this is not a very good sauce. So the rating, which is in the written review available down in the description below, reflects this sauce without me adding maple syrup to it. I think what happened with this, my guess is that maybe the Yampa Valley Sauce Company here is a small enterprise, and you might have some batch variation. And I think what happened is this got bottled without somebody tasting it, because I really don't think they were trying to go for something this sour, because this is not very good without some sweetener to it. You add sweetener to it, it's fine. Good to go. Without it, it is just overly sour. Like it is just horribly sour. Inedible sour. And I tried. I mean, I've gone through, prior to this video, I went through maybe not a quarter of it, maybe a fifth of it, trying it out on different things. The watery nature really restricts where you can use it. And the fact that it is not sweet also plays into it. Like, I think this would, normally blueberries and burgers are a really, really good combination, especially if you have hot peppers involved. Not here. This is not a good bite when you do that. It just makes you wish that you had something that wasn't A, that runny, and B, that sour. And so, I mean, I'm sure that's what it was. I'm sure it was that batch of blueberries wasn't a particularly sweet one. And I think they just didn't sample this. if I'm wrong and this is what they meant to do, I think they really need to reconsider what they're doing with the sauce. Because by itself, it is no bueno. But it does make an excellent sort of breakfast sauce when you throw it in there with a little bit of this, which is the pure maple syrup. I mean, you could throw it in with the gloppy HFCS stuff if that's what you like. I can't stand that syrup, so I don't have it. I don't ever eat it if I can possibly avoid it. But I mean, I'm sure it would probably work to an extent there as well. But yeah, I mean, so there you go. That is the Yampa Valley Sauce Company's Purple Blaze Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.